from the 3-year relationship to the current situationship, friendship, whatever it was, when did you decide that, like, oh no, I would rather wait till marriage? Because I mean, everyone is human. We all make mistakes. We can have this goal.
My understanding here is you had the standard of you wanted to wait until marriage prior to meeting
the concert
Arizona guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was, yeah, I definitely, I wanted to.
Well, how did you falter?
Everyone has mistakes.
Okay,
everybody has those days.
Alcohol and temptation.
Okay, look at it like, let's say she meets let's say she meets a Christian guy at her church, and she's like, I'm waiting till marriage, and then she tells him this story. You're gonna be like, really?
If they're a godly man, then they understand that
they'll give allowance and forgiveness.
We all make mistakes, and you can backtrack and still. God is going to forgive you.
But what does it mean to, like? Okay,
no, you let Chase sit on this podcast and be a born again virgin, and now she made the decision, and
Chase got pushback.
But he got pushback.
He got absolute. Hold on, I told him I was disappointed in him. I literally said that, and he got tons of pushback online for it. Trust me.
But who's to say she's seeking a super Christian man? It could just be someone who's
and also,
okay
that's
with...
it's not even my worldview. So for Chase to have slipped up, like to have premarital sex, that's not really my objection. I suppose the objection here is you're stating X, but you're not actually
right.
Right.
Also,
in any case, Chase isn't
let
here.
us point out a quick distinction here, which is that Chase felt bad. And I think that most of these women who are like, oh, well, gee, this happened and now I'm a born again, they don't seem like they feel bad about it. They don't seem like they give a shit.
I mean, she also never said born again virgin. But
No, definitely. I think that's...
No, she didn't. And
I'm
also,
not going to lie
Chase
and be like, oh, yeah, I'm Christian and I'm a virgin. No, I think that's a very terrible thing to do. I'm completely honest about all of that because... And I think, like how she stated, I think a godly man would understand, and vice versa. If he also had past relations, then I would understand as well, because nobody's perfect.
But what does it mean?
For temptation.
But then what does it actually mean to believe in waiting until marriage if every couple months you have a slip up? What does it mean?
Well, who's to say I'm going to have another slip up?
I think the biggest thing is, like, women want... I don't mean to speak for all, but like we want relationships to work, and it's so many, like I think it's kind of been ingrained as anytime you involve sex, it complicates it, or it it messes things up a little bit. And so us as women, we're always told to preserve ourselves, we're always told to wait, we're this and that. So we're like, okay, if we want a relationship to work, we need to preserve ourselves and make sure that we like whoever it is that we're dating for who they are, and not involve the sex until after that, then everything matches up.
I wish that was true, because once I got picked up and I was like, just so you know, I'm not gonna fuck, and he said, all right, well, you can go home then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
Hold on.
I mean, that's terrible. Sorry.
You're right.
I respect that.
I was like,
Nick, could you close the door?
But her as a bringing a religion, like, okay, if she like makes a mistake, do you want her to walk around town with the girl with the belt calling shame for making a mistake?
Nobody's asking for the scarlet letter, but it has become pretty apparent to me that often what happens is women will seek Christianity and the idea of being reborn into Christianity in order to mask their promiscuous past, rather than as a form of repenting from it. And this is why I think there's a delineation point, and why this is being brought up by Brian. And it's a very good point. Many times women will use that as a mask and say, now I'm above criticism for my overly promiscuous past. That's what I think they're moving towards that for, rather than, okay, I'm in a state of deep repentance because I actually feel miserable about the things that I've done.
By the way, Andrew, I sent you a text message. I guess it's just, okay, this whole like waiting till marriage, Christian waiting till marriage, but has mistakes and slip-ups. Having sex is a conscious choice. So it's like a vegan who eats meat once a week. Are you still a vegan?
No.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Look, I don't know. I'm not against premarital sex. I guess I'm just confused. My bigger thing is like more so from like a secular point of view, these girls who will have had one night stands or hooked up relatively quickly, say the last 3 boyfriends they had, they slept with them on the first, second, third date, then they're like, look, you can change up at any time however you want to move, that's your call. But I think you're allowed to feel like you're getting a raw deal as a guy if like the girl you hooked up relatively quickly without anything, and now you're a week ago, and then now you meet me, and now you want to make me wait 3 months? That's your call, but I'm gonna feel raw about it. I'm like, hold on, this isn't your actual like this isn't your values.
Yeah.
It's not your values. It's just some like arbitrary thing that you're like playing a game, essentially. You're playing a game, like you're trying to leverage sex to get something out of me, whether that's commitment or whatever. And so, I don't know, it feels like a raw deal.
It's like, how much did your mindset change in 7 days to now that you're now so passionate about this?
Yeah, I mean, some girls, I mean, you'll hear stories of a girl who's currently sleeping with a dude who has a friends with benefits, but she's like dating a guy who she's potentially eyeing as a boyfriend long term, and she's making him wait while f***ing another dude. That's crazy to me. I mean, you can do it. You can do it. It feels like a raw deal. It's kind of like, hey, I'm trying to think of a perfect example here. It's like you go to a car dealership and you buy a car for $20,000. You as the woman, you buy a car for $20,000, and then you find out your girlfriend got the same car, brand new car, for $10,000. You're like, hold on, that's not fair. Why'd they get a better deal than me? You know? Dealership says, I just felt like it. No reason, you know? So, I don't know.
I think there should be a waiting period between that. And so there shouldn't be like, oh, okay, I had sex 7 days ago and now I'm going to wait till marriage, but I'm going to go on a date on Friday. You shouldn't do that. You should wait. There should be a waiting period before you start to date again. Would that make you feel better? Or would you still be mad if it's been 6 months to a year?
I mean,
usually that's part of repentance.
Ulysses the pagan donated $200. Girl in the yellow, trust me, this guy, in my opinion, was playing up that he agrees that it shouldn't have happened. The intention all along was to smash. Eventually he'll stop being your friend and ghost.
But I'm just confused, like, so you guys said you liked each other.
Yeah.
I feel like we're not, I do actually want to dig in a little bit more on this. You said you liked each other. You guys had sex. Why not continue to date? Like,
Well,
just because you had sex doesn't mean you have to no longer, that's where I'm confused.
That was the biggest point for me. It was long distance, and
But then why'd y'all smash?
Why does it matter if it's long distance if you guys aren't doing that?
because that's
That's a
just
good
my
point, actually.
preference. I wasn't comfortable with long distance.
Me either. I was just asking.
Yeah, and then again, I saw it through after a while, and I was like, wow, that's not what I want for the relationship. That's not what I want for my marriage to be. And
You don't want your marriage to be what?
I wouldn't want to have premarital.
Wait, so
So we already had, sex before marriage. So, and it was mutual. I'm not like, but that's just not how I would want my marriage to be. So I kind of counted that out.
What
Wait.
if he asked you to marry him afterwards? After what happened, if he were like, actually,
I'd consider it. He's a great guy. It's just that it was long distance, and we fell into temptation. But I don't know. It just
wouldn't that be more motivation to stay together, though? Now that because it seems like you're justifying part of the reason of not wanting to continue seeing him, aside from the long distance thing. Some of the pretext there is you did have premarital sex.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's ruled
So that's
out
like
as a candidate
that's
of
like
marriage.
a negative mark against him.
no, it's not negative. Not negative in any way. Like I I see him as a great person and we still get along. But it's just the fact that it's premarital that I feel bad about it, and that's just not the way I would want my marriage to go.
But you already wait.
But what if he asked you to marry him afterwards? Would you be opposed to that since y'all already had been slept together?
I'm not sure. I'd really have to think about it.
Like, say like a guy did come to you and you really thought he was husband material, you really wanted to marry him, but you like accidentally had premarital sex with him. Like, would you just automatically be like, oh, I can't because I don't want to do that? But what if you did want to marry him? Like, would you automatically disqualify him because you had that premarital sex with him?
Even though it was a mutual agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd still think it's wrong. I'd still, yeah.
I guess it's like, I just like question like how committed you are this. Like, would it be better for you to say you're just waiting for the right person, or are you actually waiting for marriage?
No, definitely waiting till marriage, because I think the right person will wait for marriage.
But
Go ahead, Sammy.
Intercourse is two people. So if
Right.
you're also agreeing to premarital sex, it's because you also said yes. So if you meet Joe and you and Joe fall into temptation, even if you fell into it, right? You fell into temptation and you fell into each other, right? And you had premarital sex. Now he's not a candidate for marriage anymore.
Yeah.
Even though you also agreed to it and you thought Joe was the one, he was going to be your husband, you thought he was going to propose in 2 months, and you were like, you know what, he's the right one, this feels right, let's do it. Now that you guys have done it, you were so passionate about marrying him, but because you had premarital sex, now he's off the table and not a candidate for marriage anymore. How fair is that to him when it was a mutual decision for you guys to have premarital sex, that now he's not a candidate anymore because you two mutually agreed on something?
No, we definitely, yeah, no, I see that. I don't think, I mean, I guess it isn't fair to him, but that's just me and my choice, and I wouldn't be okay with that. I'd feel like it's not the right thing to do.
So he bought the ring in March. You guys had premarital sex in April.
Oh, that's different.
But how do you know he bought the ring? You've already told, but do you get what I'm saying? You don't know when your significant other buys you the ring to get ready to propose to you.
Right.
So he buys you the ring in March. You two mutually decide to have premarital sex in April, and then at the end of April, you're like, you know what, I can't. I'm not capable of marrying you anymore. And he's like, well, I already bought the ring. I was going to propose to you next week. But now you're like, oh, well, I'm sorry. We both decided to have premarital sex, and now you're not a candidate anymore.
Oh, then that's different. If he already had the ring and we had that discussion, then that's different.
What if you didn't know?
But you didn't know he bought the ring. You guys, that's what we're saying. So it's like,
So he bought the ring. We had the premarital sex, and then I after was like, nope, he's not a candidate for me anymore. And then after we have the discussion of like, well, I bought the ring, and
but you've already broken his heart because you told him you don't want to marry him. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to be like, oh, well, I already bought you a ring, and now you're like, oh, okay, well, never mind then, let's get married. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, you bought the ring already? That's okay. Now it's okay that we had premarital sex because now I know you had the intention to marry me.
Also, quick question. You say you want to wait for marriage. Mm-hmm. What makes you be like, oh, let's just have sex with this person, even though I don't want to marry him, but yet you're waiting for marriage? Where does that like line fall in between where like I'll give this guy a pass?
like him specifically?
No, just in general.
So you're saying like I gave this guy a pass, but after that I'm like, okay, now I'm waiting till marriage.
Yeah.
Like if you already knew you were gonna, sorry, if you already knew you were gonna wait till marriage, like why even try to pursue him?
Right. Didn't you say the reason you didn't want to continue seeing him was because of long distance?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So why did you even bother carrying on this friendship and then allowing it to proceed into a romantic relationship and then allowing sex to occur if you already had the predetermination that long distance is a deal breaker?
Like, not to be rude.
It wasn't a deal breaker.
Can I sum something up?
Yeah.
So I think that whenever you guys met, there was the interest there.
Yeah.
You both knew underlyingly that you were interested. That's why you continue to talk all those months. You finally met up. You acted on the temptation. You're like, hey, this isn't really in alignment with my beliefs. I feel shame surrounding what happened. Right. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever. Men don't care like that you're religious. They don't care. Right. And so he essentially, are you associating shame with him, and that's why you no longer want to pursue him?
No, shame is no. I would.
Or not necessarily. Shame is a strong word, but it's just that you acted, and that was not in alignment with your beliefs. So you do not want to continue going down that road with him because he also partook in something that was not in alignment with your beliefs.
Exactly.
But like, okay,
wait, hold on. But I didn't. Hold on. I didn't even get an answer to my question. So my question is, why, knowing like the justification you provided for why you didn't actually, after having had sex, you didn't want to pursue it, is because it was long distance. You knew prior to this rendezvous that it was long distance. He lived in Arizona. You live in Los Angeles. So one, why did you even pursue it? And then two, why did you have sex with him knowing it's long distance? If you're, I mean, perhaps it's post hoc justification, but you knew he was in Arizona.
She admitted that she knew what she was doing. Did you?
Hold on. Why don't we let her explain it? Go ahead.
Well, the reason why I kept pursuing it and kept talking to him was because I really liked him. He was funny, just great person. But
he's still funny, right?
Yeah, of course.
Still a great person.
Of course.
Okay. So then it's not because he lives in Arizona then.
That is a factor. I mean.
But then why? Okay, but hold on. What changed? Because he was always in Arizona.
Right.
You guys met up and you had sex. What are the variables? What are the factors here that led to you now being, you were friends, then it was elevated to romantic prospect, you had sex, now it's back to friends, we're not dating?
We are not dating, no, but we are good friends. Not like we're best friends and we talk every day, but we can get along and we.
Hold on, wait, you're single?
I am.
And are you talking to any guys right now?
No.
I'm a Christian man. I come into the picture, I find out you're good friends and talking to a guy who you fucked. That's crazy.
Well, we're not
That's another
talking,
topic though.
but-
That's another topic though.
Okay.
You said you talk all the time and you're friends.
I didn't say we talk all the time.
Okay, what did
I said
you
we
say?
get along, like we are, we're human. We're fine. We don't have any bad terms or anything, regardless of what happened in
Okay,
the
so you're not
past.
talking to him then. It's just amicable.
No.
Maybe I misunderstood.
No,
How
like
often
I
do you
know
talk
his
to him?
family, so we
How often do you talk to him?
The last time I talked to him was probably, I would say, a month or two. No, like about a month.
All right. I perhaps misunderstood. In any case, I'm still confused. I haven't really gotten an answer. You knew he lived in Arizona.
Yes.
Okay. Why did you pursue him if long distance was an issue?
Well, it wasn't like a great issue or anything, but go ahead.
Do you think it was an actual like fall into temptation or a lack of discipline of your decision and faith?
I would say both.
Hold on. I got a question for the ladies. If you meet a guy, you've been talking to him for months, you both have told each other you like each other, y'all know kind of if you're like, I'm ready to fuck this guy, right?
Well, and if you